Banyak anak-anak teman sekolah Anda yang pintar kelihatannya, yang nilai ulangannya bagus terus-terusan, tapi besarnya tidak jadi apa-apa. Sukses bukan sebuah kebetulan, tapi sukses adalah sebuah formula yang jelas.
Cambodia, Kingdom of Wonder, with an abundance of diverse development potential. As a result of the win-win strategy, Cambodia has political stability, which has helped facilitate the growth of EDC.
Banyak anak-anak teman sekolah Anda yang pintar kelihatannya, yang nilai ulangannya bagus terus-terusan, tapi besarnya tidak jadi apa-apa. Sukses bukan sebuah kebetulan, tapi sukses adalah sebuah formula yang jelas.
Cambodia, Kingdom of Wonder, with an abundance of diverse development potential. As a result of the win-win strategy, Cambodia has political stability, which has helped facilitate the growth of EDC.
Baik, selamat pagi semuanya. Good morning everyone. Sebelum acara berlangsung, izinkan kami mengucapkan terima kasih kepada tamu kehormatan yang telah berkesempatan untuk bergabung, yaitu Dr. Andes Viv Janat, P. MAPP SC, selaku Dekan FTIK UHT, Muhammad Taufikur Rahman, STMT, selaku Wakil Dekan 1 FTIK UHT, Arif Winarno, STMT, selaku Wakil Dekan 2 FTIK UHT, Dwi Setiono, STMMT, selaku Wakil Dekan 3 FTIK UHT, Dr. Beni Agus Setiono, MSI, PDP UHT, Dr. Rini Nur Hasanah, ST MSc Teknik Elektro Universitas Brawijaya. Tamu kehormatan rekan-rekan Forte Wilayah 7 Jawa Timur, Muhammad Suseno Ajisari, STMT Politeknik Unisma Malang, Dr. Asmi Saleh, STMT Teknik Elektro Universitas Jember, Dr. Eng Dwi Arman Prasetya, STMT Universitas Merdeka Malang, Dr. Syamsuhuda Syahrorini, STMT Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, Dr. Desrianti STMKOM Universitas Muhammadiyah Ponorogo, tamu kehormatan rekan-rekan guru SMK Sederajat, Ibu Rodiatul Jannah SMKM 7 Surabaya, Bapak Aritwan Aliwaryono, SMK Negeri 2 Pamekasan, Bapak Musin, ST MTS NU Lekok Pasuruan, dan rekan-rekan lainnya yang tidak dapat kami sebutkan satu persatu. Good morning, everyone. To honorable person, my lecturers, our interviewers, Mr. Muiten, and all of my beloved audience. First of all, let us thanks to Almighty God because of His blessing we are able to come here to join in this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the explanation in this conference is about electricity. Before that, please let me read the curriculum vitae of our mesmerizing presenter. His name is Mr. Muiten. He was born in Cambodia, 3rd September 1992. His educational records are 2004 and 2007, secondary school certificate from Bosnor High School, 2007 until 2010, high school certificate from Preah Sihanu High School, 2010 until 2015, bachelor degree in the field Electrical and Energy Engineering from Institute of Technology of Cambodia, 2015 until 2017, master program in the field of Electrical Power System Engineering from ITS, Institut Teknologi 10 November, Surabaya, Indonesia. Now, he is working as electrical engineer in Business and Distributive Department of Electricity do Cambodia, or EDC, and part-time lecturer at Institute of Technology of Cambodia, or ITC. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we show our presentation, let me introduce our team. I am Safira Adinda as the moderator, Mr. Joko Subur as host, Mr. Turnmui as the first presenter, Mr. Dai as the second presenter, Mr. Belian as the operator. Webinar kali ini akan disampaikan dalam dua bahasa, yaitu bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Inggris. Kami akan menyajikan sesi tanya-jawab dan bisa disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris maupun bahasa Indonesia, karena pihak webinar akan membantu untuk mentranslatekan ke dalam bahasa Inggris maupun bahasa Indonesia. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start our conference by the first presentation. Please welcome Mr. Muiten. Time is yours.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me start again. Thank you so much for your opening. And Assalamualaikum. Yeah, this is my honor to be here again. I actually 3 years ago I was in Indonesia to pursue my master degree in Surabaya, and right now I'm working in my utility in Cambodia. Yes, today I would like to share with you about the energy sources in Cambodia. Yeah, it's not really detailed. It's not really go in deep in electrical, in technical, but I just want to share the overview about the energy source in Cambodia. Yeah. Okay. So let me go to the outline. So I'm going to talk about briefly about Cambodia and structure of energy sector in Cambodia, energy policies and Cambodia power strategies. And the last one, I'm going to talk about the electricity generation source in Cambodia. So what are the sources that we depends on in to generate the electricity in Cambodia? Yeah. So let's go to let me share with you briefly about Cambodia. So Cambodia, it is a member of Asian country. It's located in Southeast Asia, and we share the border with Thailand, with Laos, with Vietnam. And we have the total area 181,035 kilometers square, and we have the populations around 16 million, and our national religion is Buddhism. And we have the capital city is called Phnom Penh. Yeah. So if you heard about Cambodia, maybe you also heard about the Angkor Wat. So let me tell you something about Angkor Wat. If you have some time to visit Cambodia after COVID, yeah, I would recommend you to visit Angkor Wat Temple. Angkor Wat Temple. So what make Angkor Wat Temple beautiful? What make it famous? You know, Angkor Wat Temple. It was built in the early of 10 and 13, and it's around 1,000 years ago, and so why do I recommend you to visit Angkor Wat Temple? You know, Angkor Wat Temple, it has very special things that happen. You know, during it has 2 times a year that it exists, like two phenomena that happen twice in a year in Angkor Wat Temple, that the sun rise up on the peak of the main Angkor Wat Temple. It's called equinox, and it's happened during 20 March and 23rd of September. You know, we don't know, we just wonder how our ancestor that can design, can build, that can design to make the sun rise up on the peak of the Angkor Wat Temple during twice a year. It's not a accident. It is a calculation. So most of the tourism come to Cambodia, come to visit Cambodia during these 2 months. During these 2 months, it happened to they will come during March and September. Yeah, hopefully if you have some time, you can visit Angkor Wat Temple after COVID. Yeah. Okay. So let me go directly to the structure of energy sector in Cambodia. So before you before you know about, in order to make you understand, easy to understand about the structure, you should know about the legend. So the dot legend, the small dot legend, it represents the ownership of EDC, and the long dot legend, it represents the policy, strategies, planning, technical standard, and the long one, and the arrow, it represents the tariff, licensee, financial performance, enforcement, the regulation, and rule and standard. So the structure of energy in Cambodia, we have first from the government. From the government, we have the 3 units that control the energy, the whole energy in Cambodia. We have Electricity Authority of Cambodia, we call it EAC, and then Ministry of Mine and Energy, we call it MME, and the other one is Ministry of Economic and Finance, we call it MEF. So let me explain you something about the AC. So EAC, you know, here is, it has the arrow here. It means that EAC is it is the one who control the tariff of the energy, and also the rule. So EAC control all of the price that energy producer supply to the customer. If we don't have EAC, you know, the consumer will not have the lower price. So if we don't have EAC, the price of electricity and also the other energy, it will be it will be not stable at all. So EAC, it is the one who control the price, the regulation of the energy supply. And the other one is Ministry of Mine and Energy. So this ministry has 2 main functions. The first one, he is the policy maker, and the other one, he is the owner of EDC. Let me tell you something about the EDC. EDC is the biggest utility in Cambodia, like PLN in Indonesia, I think. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken about PLN, I think EDC is similar to PLN. So Ministry of Mine and Energy, they support the energy sector by building the policy, the strategy, the planning, and the technical standards. So every standard has to be under control by the Ministry of Mine and Energy. And the other one is Ministry of Economic and Finance. So this ministry is the owner of EDC. So they support the financials to the EDC. So EDC is owned by the government. Let's say EDC is under control by the government, and it is handled by the 2 ministries. The first one is Ministry of Mine and Energies, and the second one is Ministry of Economic and Finance. So let's say that EDC need the support, the technical support, the standard support from MEE, and the financial support if EDC has some problem with financial support or lack of money, something like that. So MEE will come to help EDC. So let me go next. So let me tell you something about EDC background. You know, how EDC become a state-owned limited company. So electricity was introduced in Cambodia in 1906 by French people, and then from 1958, EDC was established as a state enterprise, and by early 1975, EDC has the employee around 14,000, around 1,400 employees. And in March 1996, EDC became again as a state-owned limited company. And right now in 2019, the energy that's sold by the EDC is come to around 6 terawatt hour. 6 terawatt hour, yes, and EDC has a customer base around 0.92 million customer, and the annual turnover around 1.3 billion USD, and the total installed capacity of EDC is around 2 gigawatt. Yeah, I think it's not it's not really big compared to other country. But let me tell you that let me come back again that I told you that EDC is just a biggest company in Cambodia, but it's not mean that we have only one company. We have the other utility that supply the electricity to the customer in the whole country, and the revenue growth is around 27%, and right now the total employee around 4,600 employee. Okay, let me talk briefly about the energy policies in Cambodia. You know, we have four main policies in Cambodia for the government of Cambodia. The first one is to provide an adequate supply of energy through Cambodia at reasonable and affordable price. Right now, you know, the price of electricity has been decreased year by year, and right now it's around 0.1 USD, 0.1 USD per kilowatt hour, and it will be decreased year by year. I think next year it will be also decreased. And the other is to ensure a reliable and secure electricity supply at a reasonable price, which facilitates investment in Cambodia and development of national economy. So we try to ensure that power supply has been secure, has been reliable. And the other one is to encourage exploration, environmental and social acceptable development of energy resource. Need for supply to all sectors of Cambodia economic. So the government also encourage the new exploration, the new investment in the area of renewable energies. So we can be friendly to the environment. And the other one is to encourage the efficient use of energy and to minimize the detrimental environmental effects resulted from energy supply and consumption. So yeah, the government also encourage the people, the consumer, try to use the energy in efficient way, and also try to encourage the company to build the product with the high efficiency. Okay, so let me go next. I'm going to talk about the Cambodia power strategy. So we have three main power strategies. So the first one is development of generation. The second one is development of transmission line, and the last one is development of rural electrification. So development of generation. So we have a goal to increase diversify of power supply such as hydro, coal power, importing electricity, biomass, and the other renewable energies to meet the electricity demand and reduce fuel oils for power generation. And the second one about the transmission line, we have a strategy to develop the national transmission line, GSM and Asian, and power grid, maximize mini grid to the rural area, upgrading the HV, MV, and LV. And for the development of rural electrification, we have a goal to supply from the national grid, mini grid, and grid extension and standalone system, and renewable energy biomass and hydro. So that it means that for the rural area, it's quite hard to to extend our grid. So sometimes we encourage the people to use the solar or biomass energy to generate the electricity. So for the goal, for the long term, for the long term goal, Cambodia will admit to supply all of the energy to the consumer. I mean, the government admit to supply the energy to all of the consumer in the whole country by 2030, by the year of 2030. It means that right now we in the whole country, some part of our country has no access to the electricity. So by the year of 2030, the electricity will be supplied to all of the consumer in Cambodia, to all of the people in to all of the household in Cambodia. Yeah. Okay, so this is the electricity energy source that we are depends on. So mostly we depends on hydro. You know, for the main source, we have two main sources. Is the first one is domestic generation, and the second one is import power sources. So for the domestic generation, we depends on coal power plant and hydro, fuel oil, renewable energy, and capacity generation by industry. And for the total domestic generation, we have around 80%, around 80%, yeah. So for around 20%, we import the power from our neighboring country like Thailand, Vietnam, and Laos. And most of the power we depends on hydro, and we have coal power plant is around 31%. Yeah, and the source of coal, we don't have coal in our country, but we import from Indonesia also. We buy from Indonesia for the source of the coal. And yeah, and we buy the electricity from Vietnam around 14%, and from Laos 0.66%, and from Thai around 6%. So totally around 21% that we import the power from our neighboring country. Okay. So let me show you the main grid that we import the power from our neighboring country. So we imported power from Thailand in the level voltage of from 115 kV to 230 kV from Thai, around 6% only, and from Laos around 1% from Laos in the level voltage of 115 kV and 230. But right now, in the early of this year, we are connecting the main grid from Laos in the level voltage of 500 kV. Yeah, and also from Vietnam. From Vietnam, we have grid interconnection from Vietnam around 16% in the level voltage 230 and 115 kV. So this is the transmission line in Cambodia. You can see it has been split to all of the provinces in Cambodia. Okay, so let me show you some existing power generation in Cambodia right now. as I mentioned earlier, that we have domestic generation. So here are the domestic generation that we are depends on in our country. We have two coal power plants here, two coal power plants with a total capacity around around 400 megawatt from 400 megawatt. It is owned by CEL and CIDG, and those main source of those power plants were imported from Indonesia. I mean, as I told you, it's imported the coal from Indonesia. And then the other is about the hydro power plant. Yeah. And also the solar farm. Solar farm actually in 2000 we start to consider about the solar energy in the year of 2018. You know, because of an environmental effect. So we have to consider some renewable energy. We have to invest from renewable energy like solar. Solar we have in 2018 we have only 10 megawatt, but right now we are having ongoing project around 200 megawatt more. Yeah. And we don't have the wind turbine at all. We don't have the source of wind. Actually, we have only hydro, coal, and solar. So I think that's all for my presentation. I think that's all for the source of energy in Cambodia that I would like to share with all of you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask me. I'm sorry, I'm not get used to with this app. It's my first time to use this app.
Okay, thank you so much for the good presentation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we are open to the opinion question and answer. Please raise your hand and don't forget to mention your name. Kali ini bisa disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris maupun bahasa Indonesia. Bagi yang namanya saya sebut, silahkan untuk menyebutkan kembali namanya dan pertanyaan yang akan diajukan. Yang mau bertanya silahkan untuk raise hand, angkat tangan.
Hello, Mr. Moisan.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, can you close your the screen maybe? Okay. We have you know so many participants in this seminar or webinar on the new country. There is 159 participants, right?
Sorry,
So,
could you come again? I could not hear you clearly.
okay, let's check. Are you hear my voice?
Okay, I got it.
Okay. So many participants on Indonesia, from Indonesia, yeah, around 250 participants, you know, and then so thank you very much for your presentation, and so many people need for your information about the Cambodia electricity company, right? Electricity company of Cambodia, and then you know, on Cambodia, I'm here on Cambodia. So many sources of energy on Cambodia, but Cambodia, until now, you need import from the other country, export for the other country, Thailand and Thailand, Vietnam also.
Vietnam also. All of our neighboring countries.
And then the solar farm from now until now 200 megawatt.
Yeah, around 200 megawatt. This is ongoing project.
Ongoing project from EDC.
Yeah, actually it's not from EDC. It's from the other private company. But in the whole country, it's around 200 megawatt.
So it's maybe Indonesia also has the solar farm, but the on the not EDC making the solar panel, right? On Indonesia is in photovoltaic, but not our government making, right? But only one government. I'm trying to speak English, right? Jadi, teman-teman saya mencoba untuk berbahasa Inggris di sini. Sebenarnya tidak begitu banyak. Jadi di Kamboja itu dia source-nya masih menyuplai dari Vietnam dan Thailand. Tidak seperti Indonesia, not also like Indonesia. Like Indonesia have a power system engineering by himself. We need to export from the other country. And then but on the solar panel, jadi kalau di solar panel, on the solar panel system Indonesia tidak sama seperti Cambodia. Kalau Cambodia, Cambodia had the big project for the solar farm, but Indonesia only so small apa ya perusahaan?
Company.
Yeah, so small company like PP, small only very small company make a solar panel, making a design of electrical solar panel, but not
manufacture the solar panel from they are manufacturer.
Yeah, that's it.
They are the manufacturer of solar panel in to supply in Indonesia.
Yes.
Like the factory that they manufacture the solar panel, right? Or
no one the factory of making a solar panel, just design, just installation for solar panel.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
The manufacturer solar panel. We export from the China, from Japan, also in the other one, same like Cambodia.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
But if we are some participant will be ask something in dunia, it's okay, you can join. Teman-teman yang mau bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia juga boleh di sini. Some people will be asked on using the bahasa, and Mrs. Safira will be translated on English. Boleh, silakan raise hand dan kami akan unmute suaranya dan akan kami tampilkan kalau Anda berkenan dalam bentuk video. Silakan. Tentang apa saja di Kambodia, termasuk tadi what's the name of candi, termasuk candi yang ada di Kamboja tadi. We have like your candi, Mr. Mo. We have Parambanan, and we have Borobudur also. The seven from the seven what?
Yeah.
You know, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the big one in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Borobudur over there.
Yeah. That Angkor Wat Temple. Yeah. If that, I just want to share with you. If you have some time after COVID, you come to visit Cambodia. What thing that you? I think I would recommend you to visit Angkor Wat Temple. It is the best one in Cambodia. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
You have
that for me. You try to mountain with me on Indonesia, right? On Batu.
If you come, I will assist you to walk around. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. But after COVID, make sure after COVID, and you come without COVID.
Oke, silakan saya sampaikan. teman-teman yang sudah hadir di sini bisa raise hand yang mau bertanya. Silakan masukkan di sini.
You know, right now my screen is a little bit dark because we have a storm in Cambodia. We have a storm and the grid has been cut out.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I cannot access my electricity at all. It has been cut out. The grid has been cut out due to the storm. Yeah. So you can see my skin is a little bit dark.
Iya, lebih dark.
I
Bisa
don't
diartikan
have
bahasa Lira itu.
Yeah. Even Wi-Fi, I don't have. Right now I'm connecting and accessing on my phone.
I think what your
yeah.
very dark. I think over there it's nice, but
It's not nice, but you know we have a storm, so
yeah,
there's no sun right now. There's no sun. There's no sunrise. Yeah, sorry.
No sunrise, no sun. Why?
No sun.
Over there?
Because of the cloud. Yeah.
Cloud is getting dark because of the storm.
Yeah. That's it. So, does anyone have any question?
Just wait for you. Maybe.
I think it can be general question like what did
We
I
have
do
a question.
during my master degree in Indonesia or something like that. Actually, I used to, yes, as I mentioned, I used to study. Yeah.
We have question for Rini Nur Hasana. Maybe it's here will be reading for the question from the Rini Nur Hasana.
Oh yeah, we got a question from Rini Nur Hasana to everyone, especially to Mr. Mui. She said that, I think you have a big river you share with other neighboring countries. Could you tell us about this? It used to generate power also. How could you manage it with other countries?
Okay, it's a good question. Yeah, I think it's a good question. Thank you, Rini. Yeah, we do have Mekong River. We do have Mekong River. And this Mekong River is supply. It's the main source. The main source is from China, and then flows through Burma, and then to Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. So how could we manage the water? So actually, we have the committee that we have the committee to discuss about this problem. You know, for sure, the main source, China, where we have a big power to control this power, to control the main flow of the water. So what about the country at the downstream? So what should we do? So this is the main problem. So that's why we have a committee to discuss about this problem. So in detail, how can we manage it? It is handled by that committee. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Miss Rini, are you satisfied enough for the explanation? Yes. She said thank you very much.
Okay.
Jadi teman-teman
question.
Okay, from Dodi Arifudin.
Oh, ini ada pertanyaan lagi, Pak.
Can you translate for Mr. Mason?
Dari pemaparan tersebut ada beberapa data COD, commissioning of date pembangkit atau waktu pembangkit beroperasi pertama kali. Bagian besar mulai beroperasi di tahun 2000 ke atas dan satu pembangkit hydropower kapasitas 1 MW milik EDC mulai COD tahun 1993 selama kurun waktu dari 1993 sampai pembangkit lain COD, apakah 1 MW mampu mengcover atau mungkin dapat power dari mana, Pak? Maaf, saya tidak bisa bahasa Inggris. Jadi, itu maksudnya gimana, Pak Daeng? dari pertanyaannya. Mungkin nanti saya
Okay.
bisa bantu translate.
Mr.
Intinya.
Moisan, I will be happy to translate from Mr. Dodi Adipudin question for you. There is on the explanation there is some COD data, COD commissioning of date, the power of the time of power operation, the first time of power operation. Start operation is 2000 on years on 2000 more, yeah. The most begin operation in 2000 and above, right? COD for the first time operation must begin operation 2000 and above, all right? So Moisan, you hear my voice?
Yeah, I got it,
Yeah.
but I'm not understanding what you are.
Okay.
Well,
On the Mr. Rodi will ask to you. On your explanation, COD is a data of COD, commission of date.
Commission of that. What is it? So can you sum up the question? What is it? What?
Commission of the there is on your explanation has the data from COD, commission of date. On your explanation, COD, commission of data of date. The first operation on year 2000 and above must begin on 2000 and above. And what sort hydropower capacity? Wait. PG mulai start tahun 2000 selama kurun waktu sampai nomor kecil dari korporator dapat power kemana? Okay. I can see English for you. I can send English for you. Maybe.
Okay. Can you send it?
Okay. The more this is the question for the translation. English, you receive it on your chat. Okay. Ada pembangkit atau pembangkit beroperasi teknologi sebagai besar menjadi ada satu pembangkit di Kabupaten Malaysia selama kurun waktu di sana.
Yes, and it is
Okay. Mr. Mason, can you open slide data COD, source of COD, commissioning of date over there? Okay, wait. Okay, next your slide.
That's it.
Wait.
Really, right?
Okay. Slide. Oh, COD.
Okay, I got it. During the period of
19 until 2000. Only 1 megawatt. Can you handle 1 megawatt for your country?
Okay, I got it. So 1 megawatt. It is the company that supply the energy to Cambodia. Not to Cambodia, not to EDC. Not 1 megawatt supply in the whole country.
So from 1993 until 2000, so many.
We have other company.
Other company and export also from the other country, right?
Yeah, and one more thing. As I mentioned, at that time we don't have much source. We don't have much energy source. We import. We were importing the power from the neighboring country. We haven't yet developed the source, so we import some power from Vietnam and also from Thai. It's not 1 megawatt to supply in the whole country.
Okay. Oke, jadi Mr. Dodi, jadi dari tahun 93 sampai tahun 2000 kan the first time katanya tahun 2000 ya, Mr. Dodi. Jadi katanya tidak 1 megawatt yang disuplai ke Kamboja. Jadi mereka sebelum tahun itu juga supply ekspor dari negara tetangganya, termasuk dari Vietnam dan Thailand. Jadi mereka itu, jadi si Moisan ini juga pernah cerita waktu di tes. Jadi power system di Indonesia itu sudah bisa dibilang sudah mandiri, meskipun di beberapa bagian masih belum ada. Tapi di Kamboja itu karena dia negaranya bertetangga dengan Thailand yang bisa dikatakan negara yang lebih maju dari mereka, nah, mereka mengekspor power system dari sana. Dan mulai start tahun 2000 ke atas itu mereka sudah mulai survive menurut saya, sudah mulai survive di sana untuk to make power system of electrical business. Mister, bagaimana? Oke, Mr. Dodi mau via mic saja boleh? Mr. Dodi via mic saja, saya open. Silakan Mr. Dodi raise hand.
Oh, if you are a student in this.
Mr. Dodi will be asked by himself. I will start seeing Mr. Dodi name. Okay, Mr. Dodi, can you raise hand? Mr. Dodi.
How the influence of student in industrial world?
Namanya Mr. Dodi siapa? Dodi. Dodi.
Symptom.
Oke, semut.
Ya.
Halo Mr. Dodi.
Oke. Oke. Terima kasih Pak Daeng untuk kesempatannya. Jadi maksud saya ini kan saya membaca tentang data COD atau Commissioning of Date beberapa pembangkit di Kamboja. Commissioning of Date itu kan adalah awal beroperasi sebuah pembangkit, Pak. Nah, di sini saya membaca rata-rata itu dia COD-nya tahun 2000 ke atas. Untuk yang paling lama dia ada di tahun 19 klik ADC. Yang saya maksud itu selama kurun waktu katakan COD yang terbaru tahun 2002 antara tahun 93 sampai 2002, apakah itu dia masih mengandalkan power yang 1 MW itu atau mungkin dapat power dari lain? Saya kira saya sudah jawab jawabannya, itu dapat power dari tetangga sebelah mungkin gitu ya, Pak.
Betul.
Iya, Pak. Betul.
Betul, Mas Dodi.
Oh ya.
Okay, so Mr. Maisan, this is the Mr. Dodi. He asked about the COD, from the first time operation of power system of Cambodia. He asking same like send you the question. She start from on Cambodia power system start on 2000 and above. So before 2000. Only 1 megawatt, right? Only 1 megawatt.
Yeah.
So we are from you get a power system from for the Cambodia system electric. You answer from the other country, right?
Yeah.
Answer from the other country. But until after 2000, you have so many power system engineering, power system over there. And Mr. Dodi, yes, he understand about your answer.
So it's
And then,
just like
yeah, we have so many questions maybe.
the start of a power plant's operation in Cambodia at 1993 until 2000 is 1 MW apa Pak? Megawatt. It's only from Cambodia itself, or it's helped by Vietnam and Thailand or the neighboring country? Just like that.
Yeah. It is from Cambodia. It is from Cambodia. Let me tell you that. Do you know why it is so small compared? Just 1 megawatt is very, very small. Actually, in 1993 we have a unstable political. So some generation has been shut down, some generation has been shut down, something like that. So from that year, it's become normal again. So so that everything comes to normal. So the generation has been work normally. So it's
okay,
yeah, that's it.
Jadi di Kamboja waktu itu memang sedang ada krisis politik ya Pak, krisis politik ekonomi. Jadi untuk 1 megawatt itu mereka menghasilkan dari negaranya sendiri untuk saat itu. Seperti itu.
Jadi seperti masih belum merdeka waktu itu ya, masih banyak masalah politik ya.
Ya, masih
Orde
banyak
baru.
masalah politik.
Perubahan Orde Baru kali ya.
Jadi mereka juga masih kesulitan
Ya, masih kesulitan seperti ini.
Okay,
we have question from Mukti. Mukti, how the influence of students in the industrial world, especially in Cambodia, is a student from Hang Tuah University, Mr. Moisan.
It's like how to influence the student to get to have a good globalization and internationalization in Cambodia, like that.
Yeah. So I think this question, yeah, okay, I think it is general, but I can answer you. Okay, thank you for your question. So to influence the student in the industrial world, so our ministry, they try to, they try to put some regulation in the school. You mean that the student has to be educated at the international language so that they can they can modernize their skill into a international one. So that right now I think most of the students they can speak English, they can communicate to to the world, yeah, because right now we communicate in English, so the student they can they can get into the world by using international language. Okay.
So the regulation of speaking English is already start in kindergarten, or since they're in high school, or like what?
Yeah, they study English from high school. Actually, from the primary school until high school. So we have a subject for the student to study. If they fail the subject, they cannot pass the exam, something like that. They cannot go to a higher grade, and they cannot pass to study at university. And also at the university, they have also the subject of English. So all of the students study English in the university also. Yeah.
Okay. Jadi untuk menginfluence, untuk bisa mempunyai international exposure, globalisasi dan internasionalisasi yang baik, murid-murid di Kamboja itu sejak pendidikan dini sudah diajak untuk berbahasa Inggris ya Pak Daeng ya. Dan di universitasnya juga ada subjek atau mata kuliah bahasa Inggris juga yang bisa dipakai mereka untuk lebih lancar lagi berkomunikasi dalam bahasa Inggris untuk mewujudkan internasionalisasi yang lebih baik, seperti itu.
Keren banget sebenarnya. Jadi selain juga belajar bahasa Indonesia di negara, bahasa Inggris di negaranya, from the first time Moisan come to Indonesia, he should be study bahasa here from the IPS, right? IPS should be, must be. Yeah, must be. 10 month, 6 month, 6 month, 1 semester, or 1 year. You study bahasa on IPS?
Yeah, I study bahasa Indonesia.
Right?
Yeah, I study bahasa Indonesia, but honestly, I'm like, when I spend much time, I cannot really speak bahasa well. Ya, tidak mau apa?
Dia sempat juga punya ini di sini, Pak. Punya gebetan di sini. Dia girlfriend on Indonesia. One six months, right? He has a girlfriend from Indonesia also.
No.
Okay. And next question from Darini Hasana. It seems some words in Cambodia are similar to Indonesian words like kampung or village. Over there, kampung. Indonesia also kampung. Village on English. besar is market, right? Besar Indonesia is
Yeah,
pasar. Yeah, besar.
yeah, really, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you have some words that
Yeah,
similar.
somewhere.
I was wonder also, you know, when I was in Indonesia, I heard some word pasar, pasar. Oh, I thought that, oh, it's market. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Also,
yes.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's very interesting that we have we share some words together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rinwasana. It's very excited.
Ada lagi Pak yang bertanya. What is the problem facing electricity in Cambodia in 2020?
Yeah.
From the Mr. Samsudin, boy. It is the question from the Mr. Samsudin.
Hello, Pak Samsudin. Yeah.
Mr. Samsudin to be a master, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The problem that we are facing in Cambodia right now, I think we are, you know, let me tell you something about 19 and 20 and 19. We lack of energy supply because of the high demand, because of the high growth of the industry in Cambodia. So they need a huge demand of power. So we lack of power in the year of 20 and 19. And right now in 2020, we don't have any problem because we are building up some big capacity of generation, more to supply the energy in the whole country.
Okay.
As I mentioned, in the early of this year, we also import the power from Laos. We connect the grid from Laos in the level voltage to 500 kV. You know, I think it's not a bad idea to import the energy from the neighboring country. So you know that we have the policy to sell the electricity from one country to one country, and it is a good way to connect the grid from the neighboring country, because we will reduce the investment on infrastructure. If we build our own generation, our main source, it will invest much more money. So yeah, it's not really bad idea to import the power from the country, from the other country. And also the main future plan for Asian country, all of the country in Asia have to be connected by the power grid. So it means that all of the country in Asia have to connect the power from one country to one country in Asia. Yeah, for 10 countries, they will connect the grid, sell the electricity back and forward, something like that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mason. Jadi tadi tidak banyak masalah di saat ini di mana di not very main problem on Cambodia because karena electricity-nya tetap terkoneksi dan mereka tetap impor dari Laos ya, still import from the other country, right?
Yeah.
Still import from the other. Tapi itu baik buat mereka. It's good because Cambodia no need to make some source. Jadi tidak memerlukan untuk membuat pabrik listrik baru atau pembangkit listrik baru, dan tidak perlu memikirkan perawatannya juga katanya. Terus akan ada project di Asia Tenggara di Asia Tenggara atau di seluruh Asia, semua listrik akan terkoneksi. All of the electrical will connected on Asia, right? Maybe some project like this. Karena mungkin di Laos surplus listriknya, jadi elektrikalnya, jadi mungkin disuplai ke Kamboja juga bagus, dijual ke sana. Dan di Kamboja tidak perlu membuat electricity baru. How about the price? How about the price of electrical import from Laos?
From electrical from Laos? Oh, sorry, I don't have that data because it is between the companies, so we are not allowed to use that data. I'm sorry, but let me tell you about the general price. The general price in Cambodia is around $0.12 per kilowatt.
0.1. 0.1.
Yeah, around 0.11 or 12
Oke.
$1 per kilowatt hour.
1.600-an lah. 1.600 per kilo per kWh ya. Watt
Yeah.
hour. Oh, ya hampir mirip lah dengan Indonesia. It's similar like Indonesia. Indonesia around 900 rupiah, around 0.8 or 0.9.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Different with
Not much different. Yeah.
not much different on Indonesia. Okay. Maybe Sabira ada pertanyaan lagi dari.
We're going to the next question from Diki Bayu Aji. What standards are used in combining solar panels in hydropower in your country?
Yeah, for the solar panel and hydro, what standard? Yeah, what standard? We have a standard on solar to connect. I think we don't have any standard. We just but to make sure that the electricity that generated from solar has no harmonic, has no disturbance, has no has a good power quality to connect to the grid. So we right now we are connecting, we are synchronized, we are synchronizing all of the main source together, but make sure that every source has to follow the regulation like harmonic injection, something like that. I could not tell you detail in a standard. We have actually, yeah, of course, we have a national standard, but it's not really complicated. It's not really complicated. It's just about the power quality problem. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mungkin Pak Daeng mau translatekan dulu atau langsung?
Jadi si Pak Diki Bayu ini tanya nih, apakah Kamboja punya standar untuk mengkombinasikan antara solar panel dan hydropower lainnya? We can answer your question. We don't need to. Dia tidak begitu tahu banyak tentang standar kombinasi yang ada di sana. You never know the standard operation or standard combining over there. So only connect directly, all right? Only connected directly.
Yeah, connected, but make sure that the energy source has a power quality, like no harmonic injection. It must be.
Jadi dikonekkan aja langsung katanya, dikonekkan langsung, dan masalah seperti sinkronisasi frekuensi dan yang lainnya itu itu sudah ada di, menurut saya ada di pelajaran-pelajaran ya, menurut saya terus sudah ada pada mesin koneksinya katanya. Jadi kalau untuk standar dia tidak begitu tahu di detailnya bagaimana yang harus standar yang harus di berapa sih solar panel ketika mau dikoneksikan ke power system, itu dia tidak begitu tahu banyak. But Mr. Maitan, what is standard of use in combining? Maybe Mr. Diki Bayu Aji as a standard, it mean should be the solar panel should be has maybe 1 kilowatt hours. Should be have 1,000 kilowatt, maybe regulation like this to connecting on the grid maybe. You have standard.
I got it. The regulation. So if you talk about the household, if you talk about the solar they generated by the household, some household they have their own solar and also they connect to the grid. So sometimes if it overproduce, it will generate, it will inject to the grid. So we have the regulation that we are not allow all of those overplus power supply back to the system. Yeah.
Okay.
So the consumer can connect their power to the grid, but not allowed to inject the power to the grid. That's it. You mean that zero export energy.
Zero export energy.
Yeah, zero export energy.
Ya seperti di Indonesia juga. Jadi di Indonesia itu kalau solar panel dia punya ada on on also ada off grid, ada yang sistem off grid. If you use on grid on solar panel, you should be have
Yeah, it's on grid.
standard over there, standard to connect to the grid. So jadi harus ada standar gridnya. And dan meterannya juga harus dari PLN, ada meteran untuk menghitung itu berapa elektrikal yang disuplai dan berapa elektrikal yang akan diterima yang digunakan oleh kita. Okay, maybe if Mr. Diki Bayu Aji have the other question, you can raise hand and directly you can ask you can ask to Mr. Moy directly, and I want to open your voice. Yeah. Then maybe to the next question. This is from Restu Mukti Utomo. You know who Restu? Mr. Moy, you remember that?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I know. Hi, Restu. Okay, he asked me about the price in my country. So as I told you already, it's around 0.12, something like per kilowatt hour. Yeah.
Okay. Jadi Pak Restu katanya 0,1 US dollar, ya sekitar 1.500-an lah. 0.1?
0.12.
0.12.
Yeah.
Sekitar 1.500-an lah Pak Restu per kWh. How the rating voltage in Cambodia? Oh, rating voltage in Cambodia, maybe distribution voltage maybe.
For the rated distribution in in Cambodia, we have
20 kV.
From the low one we have 220 volt, and from at the primary distribution we have 20 kV and 22 kV and 35 kV.
Similar with Indonesia. Right?
Yeah, similar. For the low voltage, we have the same low voltage. For the primary distribution. Medium voltage, we have 22 kV and 35. In Indonesia, as I remember, it's around 20 kV, right?
20 kV. Jadi katanya di sana kalau di rumah-rumahnya sama seperti Indonesia, yaitu 220 volt, 200 sampai 250 volt. Di mediumnya juga hampir sama, 22 kV kilovolt. Kalau di Indonesia ya sekitar 20 kV. Sama di transmisinya juga sekitar 50. Itu saja Pak Restu. Kalau ada pertanyaan lagi silahkan ditanyakan.
We're going to the next question.
Ya, Imam Heru.
Pertanyaan dari Bapak Imam Heru. Menurut Mr. Mui, menggunakan sistem pembangkit apa yang cocok untuk Indonesia? Mengingat Indonesia negara kepulauan dan berbeda dengan Kamboja. So it's like, in your opinion, what's power plants that's suitable in Indonesia, knowing that Indonesia is an archipelago country and it's different with Cambodia?
I think for Indonesia, there are so many sources that can that you have. So like wind, you have a lot of mountains, so there must be a lot of water. Yeah, so. I think Indonesia has so many sources, yeah, like coal or hydro, especially hydro. I think Indonesia has a lot of hydro power plants. Yeah. I think Daeng should respond this question. I don't know because I don't know exactly about Indonesia, so I don't know what kind of source that can be generated.
Katanya Mr. Mason. Mr. Heru, jadi dia tidak terlalu tahu banyak sih, karena di Indonesia ini sekitar hanya 2 tahun setengah di sini. Dan kata Mr. Mason, banyak sekali power system Indonesia, bahkan bisa dibilang lebih banyak daripada Cambodia. So many of our plant on Indonesia, more than the Cambodia lagi. We have so many hydro power plant, so gas power plant also, so many over there. Jadi setiap pulaunya mungkin menurut saya setiap pulaunya berbeda tergantung dari sumber penghasil listriknya. Bisa saja solar panel, bisa saja hydro power system, bisa saja uap seperti di Indonesia banyak menggunakan uap ini. Jadi sangat banyak sekali. Tapi yang pasti Indonesia, Indonesia no need to export a power plant from the other country.
Terus tadi Mr. Mulia juga bilang karena di Indonesia banyak gunung ya Pak ya dan banyak air juga, jadi kita kayak mostly itu bisa menggunakan hydro atau air untuk membangkit listrik. Ya seperti itu.
Thank you very much for Imam Heru. Itu jawaban dari Mr. Moisan. Okay, this I have a question from the other lecturer from Hangzhou University, Mr. Istio Winarno. Mr. Moy, how is the trend research of electrical engineering in Cambodia? How is the trend research of electrical engineering in Cambodia, especially in renewable energy? Trend research saat ini apa sih kalian?
Thank you for your question, Pak
Istio.
Istio, yeah. Yeah, right now in Cambodia, we have a main institute to support the researching in regard to this energy field, like electrical field, yeah. And also we also have the renewable, and we also the government also encourage the research about the renewable energy. And also not only about the researching, they also encourage the company in the whole country to use the renewable energy like solar. Let me tell you something that if the company they integrate, they use the solar panel that connect to the grid, the price of electricity will be decreased as well. So this is the trends of using renewable energy and also the research about the renewable energy. Okay, I think.
The trend research over there is solar panel. Because the solar panel is connected to the power grid, the price will be decreased. Like this, jadi yang paling banyak katanya di Cambodia itu mereka sedang riset tentang solar panel di renewable ya. Solar panel, karena kalau solar panel sudah bisa terkoneksi pada sistem grid, maka harga listriknya akan rendah. In Indonesia also, maybe, you know, Belly, our friend, they are research about research and practice also on the renewable energy on solar panel. The installation of solar panel on the company in Indonesia right now, and they have a company also, Mr. Belly. He research and practice on renewable on a solar panel. But our solar panel is from the other country that's making by myself.
Yeah, you know, in regard to this problem, I think maybe later or sooner, in Cambodia will have a lot of solar panel, because the government, they decrease the price if any company they have the interconnected grid between between solar and the utility grid. So the price of electricity consumption will be decreased. So right now there are so many people, there are so many companies they apply to use this regulation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. From the Istio, your question is the answer. And maybe the next question, Mrs. Safira.
The next question dari M. Krishna Ramadan. Apakah di negara Kamboja merencanakan untuk pembangunan pembangkit baru? Karena kan pasti juga ada pertambahan penduduk dan pasti juga bertambahnya bangunan. Pasti akan ada penambahan beban juga pada pembangkit. So it's just like, do in Cambodia planning to have a new power plants, knowing that there must be a population and building increase in your country?
Yeah, for sure. Right now we are building so many power plants, because we experience lacking of power supply from the last year, and right now we are building many power plant. For this year, we are building 400 megawatt more to supply more energy to the consumer. It has been installed next to the not far from the city. It's like for emergency. Because it's very bad, you know. Last year we faced this problem. We faced the lack of energy.
Oh.
Yeah. So right now we are solving out. We can sort it out. Yeah.
Jadi sekarang itu sudah mulai menyiapkan sekitar 100 megabyte ya Pak ya? Megabyte untuk kedepannya, karena dari pengalaman yang tahun lalu mereka sempat ada masalah di bidang electricity-nya juga, jadinya karena belajar dari pengalaman mereka sudah mulai menyiapkan untuk kedepannya seperti apa, dan sekitar ada 100 megabyte lagi untuk kedepannya. Dan digunakan untuk sesuatu yang emergency dulu.
Megawatt.
Megawatt. Okay, sorry.
Maybe from the other question. So how, Mr. Priyudi, how does this pandemic affect of energy sector in your country? The COVID-19 impact.
I think it is a global effect, not only in Cambodia. I think all around the world, all around the world, yeah, the country all around the world, because during this pandemic, some sector has to be shut down, like some like commercial sector have to be shut down, otherwise the pandemic will be get worse. So, but not really much for there's no much effect, because people have to work from home, so they have to consume much energy from home, not from the company. So there is not really much effect in regard to the energy consumption. Yeah, thank you.
Oke, Mr. Mas, jadi impact-nya sama, tidak hanya di Kamboja tapi di Indonesia juga banyak beberapa yang tutup juga di sana di Kamboja. How about now over there? It's normal on the Cambodia?
I think, I forgot to update the news about the COVID-19. Yeah, right now we have 139 cases.
139.
Totally 139 cases, and 129 has been recovered.
Okay, sembuh.
Recover, yeah. And we have 10 cases ongoing, yeah. And I think right now it has been better. It's been better than before. At the first time, every people in the city, they feel afraid, they feel scared, they cannot, they did not want to come out. But right now, I think it's better than before.
Oke, jadi ada sekitar 139 kasus, 139 cases, and 129 recovery, 129 sembuh dan yang lainnya. Saya kayak pembawa berita update corona ya. Katanya, oke, teman-teman yang ada resen, moga yang resen silakan. Akan saya open. Coba di resen lagi, teman-teman. Jadi sempat tidak melihat yang resen. Monggo. Ada. Ada Rani Alham. Oke, Rani Alham. From Rani Muhyiddin, come on Rani. Rani is our friend. Mungkin maybe we have question. Rani Alham, okay. You can join with us. Okay. Maybe Mr. Rani, open your video also.
No.
Open your camera also.
I think without video. Okay.
Rani is a lecturer on the Kalimantan University lecture. He's lecture now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Rani.
Thank you. For turn,
Yeah.
where is turn?
Yeah, I'm here.
I can see you. Okay,
What?
I want to ask you about how the potential in Cambodia if I build the power plant in here. Power
Potential.
plant by water, or what the there is translator in here, right?
Yes.
Oke. Potensial yang paling besar di Kambodia itu apa? Terus gimana perkembangannya di sana? Kira-kira berjalan dengan baik atau ada hambatan untuk pembangunan power plant sendiri? Misalnya power plant-nya air, kalau kita membangun di sana, apa itu laku untuk perusahaan-perusahaan yang swasta ya? Untuk perusahaan-perusahaan swasta, kita membangun sendiri untuk di Kambodia.
Dan oke, bisa
sebenarnya itu agak sedikit berkaitan sama pertanyaannya Bapak Diki Setiawan ya Pak ya. Jadi it's like what is the biggest sources in your country, in Cambodia, and is there any resistance to make it the biggest sources? And it's like in electricity company in Cambodia, is that only from country or any private company can join to give power plants also?
Yeah, I got it. I got a question. Thank you, Rani. Actually, the main source is hydro. We have around 40% of energy source from hydro, and of course, there are some foreign company that come to invest to generate the energy. It doesn't mean that all of those 40% supplied by the local company. It is supplied by the foreign company from China, from Malaysia, from other country. I don't remember all. Yeah, thank you.
Jadi sebagian besar itu dari air ya, sekitar 40%-nya itu dari air, Mbak. Terus untuk perusahaannya, nggak cuma dari perusahaan dalam negeri juga, tetapi juga bukan dari di dalam negeri yang seperti swasta dalam negeri, tapi mereka juga dapat bantuan dari foreign atau dari perusahaan asing seperti China, kayak gitu.
Itu jawaban Mbak Rani ya. Ini Mbak Rani ini sebenarnya berkelas dengan kita Mbak dulu. Sekarang dia sudah jadi sepertinya bahasa Inggrisnya dulu bagus sih dulu Mbak. Sekarang harus try lagi kayaknya dia. Mungkin
nervous.
Dia juga pakai bahasa nervous juga. Oke, itu jawaban untuk Mbak Rani dan Mr. Diki Setiawan. Dari Akbar Rusma Negara, apakah negara Kamboja pernah mengalami blackout dan untuk mengatasi apa? Okay, from the question from the Indonesia, the Cambodia have been apakah pernah mengalami blackout system? Have the blackout system maybe several years ago, like Indonesia blackout system, transmission system happened on Cambodia. Happen a blackout system maybe several ago.
How did you know that?
I don't know. It is question.
Oh. Who's that? Which?
Akbar Rusma Negara. Akbar Rusma Negara. Indonesia. On bahasa maybe. On bahasa question.
Oh really?
And how to retire.
Oh yeah.
The blackout.
Akbar
Rusma Negara.
Okay. So could come the question again? I forgot. I could not get it.
On the Cambodia have a blackout system maybe several ago. And how to define the blackout system on Cambodia?
The blackout.
blackout?
You mean in Cambodia several years ago, it consists the blackout, right? So what is the problem of that blackout or what? You want
When?
Oh,
2000.
when? Okay, it was around 2017. Yeah, it was around 2017. We were facing the blackout, and I don't know. I'm not sure about that blackout because I was out of Cambodia. Right at that time, I was in Indonesia. Yeah.
2017.
Now I'm not sure about that problem. Yeah.
Okay. Jadi pernah katanya, tapi Mr. Moy tidak begitu tahu karena pada tahun 2017 dia masih kuliah di sini. Jadi memang 2 tahun dia nggak pernah pulang. Ya, jadi pernah terjadi blackout, tapi dia tidak tahu kenapa blackoutnya, Mas Akbar. Oke, itu jawaban dari Mr. Moy. Oke, terima kasih banyak. Kalau ada tanya, ini ada dari Mr. Istio lagi. Mr. Istio, maybe it's out of the subject. What is your special experience for the example food, place, and others during your study in ITS?
Okay, thank you.
Maybe special you can
special
experience you can meet with me or Bendy or your friend maybe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, actually, when I was in Indonesia, I was doing a master degree in electrical power system. Yeah, and I was sponsored by JICA. So JICA, because of ITS, they have a cooperation with JICA and with other Asian university. So that
what is it?
Yeah,
JICA.
you know JICA? It's Japan. It is the Japanese organization.
Oh.
So they sponsor every student in Asian can go to any country in Asia to study. Only the member university like ETS, ITB, NU. Oh, sorry.
UE.
Chulalongkorn University. Chulalongkorn University. Every big university in Asian. They have the cooperation, and so every student can go to study there, and yeah, that's it. So at that time, I was sponsored by JICA to study at ITS, and yeah, the special experience. I think the special experience, is that I really love Indonesian people because they love to share. They love to share. They are honest. And yeah, that's very nice, very friendly. That is a good experience that I love about I love in Indonesia. Love to be in Indonesia.
That's sweet. Thank you so much.
Okay, how about the lecture? How about the lecture on ITS? You have a special lecture over there?
I love a lot of lecture that they are very nice. They teach me. They try to help me to discuss with me to conduct the research. Okay, I feel very thankful to all of those lecturers. Thank you.
Oke, Pak Cibiro bagaimana? Tapi ada pertanyaan dari Mbak
Ada
Rani.
pertanyaan lagi, Pak.
Oh, Mbak Rani ini baru masuk. Baru masuk dia.
How about the renewable energy?
Yeah, renewable energy right now is booming. You know, they every like I mentioned, so many companies they are trying to install the solar panel to integrate with the main grid because of the price of energy of electricity has been decreased if they connect their renewable energy source to the grid. So right now, the renewable energy is very popular. I think they are coming up.
Yeah. Special question for me.
Okay.
How about the technology of PLC over there?
PLC. I think PLC. Okay, it's a little bit personal, yeah, because you are good at PLC. Let me tell you that, yes, there are some. We have the other university that they have this kind of major. They conduct this major. They are very expert. But I'm not. But for me, I don't know about PLC. I don't know much because I'm in the field of energy, electrical energy. So so many things to focus on energy.
Yes, focus on energy. Thank you very much for your answer. Maybe Ms. Safira, how about is it the last question from the Mr. to?
Maybe we give a chance for the last question. Untuk yang mau bertanya, terakhir kami kasih kesempatan. Jika tidak ada, akan kami tutup.
Okay, I think that's
how to get equipment for electrical power engineering over there. It's
Sorry?
A question from Restu. Question from Mr. Restu Muktiotomo. How to get equipment of electrical over there? You easy to get or difficult to get?
What do you mean to get?
To buy. How about the equipment of electrical engineering? For example, you need a solar panel. Easy to buy or not?
Yeah, it's easy to buy those.
Because you will be make a business of solar panel over there on Cambodia.
That's good because right now there are so many companies that need that solar panel. If you have a good quality, you will be the priority. Will be the priority company if you have a good priority with low price. Good quality with low price. You will be the big priority. Yeah, the best priority.
He will be make a market. He will be make a market of electrical equipment over there. It's very small.
Yeah, come on, man, come.
Thank you, Mr. Okay, Isabella.
Oke. Seminar ini akan diakhiri pukul 11.30 ya. Jadi, well, ladies and gentlemen, finally we are come to the last agenda. We would like to say thanks again for the presenter and all of the audience for active participation. Terima kasih banyak untuk semua yang sudah hadir dan aktif berpartisipasi dalam seminar ini. Dan sebelumnya akan kami sampaikan juga terima kasih banyak kepada tamu kehormatan kami, yaitu Dr. Andes Steve Janat, PMAPPSC, selaku Dekan FTIK UHT, M. Taufikur Rohman, STMT, selaku Dekan 1 FTIK UHT, Arif Winarno, STMT, selaku Wakil Dekan 2 FTIK UHT, Dwi Setiono, STMMT, selaku Wakil Dekan 3 FTIK UHT, Dr. Beni Agus Setiono, MSI PDP UHT, Dr. Rini Nur Hasanah, STMSC Teknik Elektro Universitas Brawijaya, dan tamu kehormatan rekan-rekan Forte Wilayah 7 Jawa Timur, Dr. Asmi Saleh, STMT, Teknik Elektro Universitas Jember, Dr. Eng Dwi Aman Prasetya, STMT, Universitas Merdeka Malang, Dr. Syamsuhuda Syahrorini, STMT, Universitas Muhammadiyah Sidoarjo, Dr. Desrianti, STMkom, Universitas Muhammadiyah Ponorogo, dan tamu kehormatan rekan-rekan guru SMK sederajat, Ibu Rodiatul Janah, SMKN 7 Surabaya, Bapak Ahmad Ridwan Ali Waryono, SMK Negeri 2 Pamekasan, Bapak Muhsin ST, MTSNU Leko Pasuruan, dan satu lagi dari rekan Forte Wilayah 7 Wilayah Jatim, Muhammad Suseno Ajisari, STMT Politeknik Unisma Malang. Kami ucapkan terima kasih sebesar-besarnya, and hopefully the presentation will give benefit for us. Dan jangan lupa untuk tanggal 4 Juli akan ada lagi seminar webinar ini dengan tema besar, Don't Waste Your Youth, Enjoy Little Things and Have Fun. Jadi ini adalah seminar yang sangat inspirasional lagi untuk kaula muda, untuk tidak membuang-buang waktu di masa mudanya. And I would like to say thank you so much for your attention. See you later and sampai jumpa.
Banyak